Welcome back to Primetime News. Thanks for staying with us. Now, my colleague Janella Precious has been working from halfway tree from the transport center ahead of the island-wide curfew, which takes effect at 8 o'clock. Janella?
Thank you so much, Herman. Well, let me just give you a quick time check. It's 7:24, so we're getting there to the start of the curfew, which starts at 8 p.m. Now we're seeing police officers on motorcycles and police officers in motor cars, and they've been driving throughout the streets of Halfway Tree as we speak. We're not seeing that many taxi operators, but we are going to continue monitoring the situation here. Now, as the police prepare to embark on this new mission, there is a debate about whether they have adequate gear to protect them against the coronavirus. I spoke to the chairman of the Jamaica Police Federation, Sergeant Patrick.
Police operation in full swing on Marcus Garvey Drive. Police in general among the essential services grouping, but they found themselves in a peculiar position. Stop and searches continue as the officers try to maintain law and order. But what we observed during this operation is that following social distancing protocols were almost impossible. The police officers were handling documents, physically interacting with citizens. With the exception of a senior officer seen wearing gloves, the lawmen were without any protective gear, no visible signs of hand sanitizers or rubbing alcohol either. We put the issue to Chairman of the Police Federation, Sergeant Patrick.
Hand sanitizers, disinfectants, gloves, masks. Those have been distributed to our members in some quantity. In some instances, thousands of supplies were sent out to our members. Our audits have revealed that there is something wrong with the logistics and coordination of these supplies, and the distribution are not reaching the most affected people.
Here's why it's of concern. In New York City, the epicenter of the coronavirus outbreak in the United States, more than 1,400 police officers have tested positive for COVID-19. 5 have died and thousands more have been out sick.
We are hurting, we are crying, and we continue to fight.
The Police Federation boss says he's been monitoring the developments there, and given the multiple special operations plus regular policing, he contends that officers are highly at risk of contracting the coronavirus.
Wait until officers are infected. In fact, there is a high percentage of infection among police officers for the very reason, because of the nature of policing. It's a high interaction job. We take people's driver's license, we issue them ticket, there's an exchange, right? We have to search people, we have to arrest people. Criminals did not take a break. Criminals are not in quarantine because of the directives. They are still out there. There's a need for police to interact. If we must interact, if we must respond to our normal policing duties, if we must respond to offenses and crime.
Sergeant Rose says the High Command has given directives aimed at protecting vulnerable officers, but in some instances, these have not materialized.
Members who are pregnant are to be sent back to their division where they live to limit travel. Members who travel on public transportation are to be given work at home or assigned close to where they live. Members whose immune systems are compromised based on lifestyle diseases, based on inherent medical conditions that they have, are to be sent home. What we are finding is that there's a strong resistance, or there's a bureaucratic approach from some management within these divisions that are frustrating these directives and making them difficult for our members to benefit from them.
He also wants the High Command to go further.
We have jail visits, cell visits that are being conducted now by members of the public giving supplies to relatives who are in custody. That has not scaled down, even though the JCF has developed protocols. The Police Federation has called for a wide-scale suspension of cell visits because we believe that it's a vulnerable point.
Now, Herman, in that sit down with the Minister of National Security earlier today, Kirk Wright put the concerns expressed by the Police Federation to the minister. Here's what he had to say.
Commissioner is having discussion with the commanders I know they have supplied masks and gloves. I would expect it's adequate in numbers in the early stages, but as they get more involved, there might be questions of how much. But we are prepared to acquire it once they're available. And we don't, what we can say without apology, we're not asking any police officer to expose themselves to COVID without proper protection gear. Bear in mind that the public health officers have views, professional views, which must be respected. But they have the view that, traffic officers do not necessarily need all of this protective gear. Right? That has been said by the medical officers of health. We are still providing some gears at the stations, and gears are at most stations, at the stations as far as I'm aware.